Hi everybody, today I am taking a look at a couple of items from the Simplified Planner I think it's just Simplified now by Emily Lay. I did not get one of their daily planners this year. I have looked at those in the past, but I did decide to look at one of their weekly planners as well as their new Entrepreneurship Notebook. So here they are. The planner that I got is the Hydrangea weekly planner because of course I got the floral one. You guys, really? The weekly planner has multiple covers. This is the only version of the Entrepreneurship Notebook. So we're going to start with the weekly planner. We'll come back to the notebook. The weekly planner is a calendar year, January through December dated planner. It is $50, which I think for a planner this size feels a little pricey, but I haven't really looked at it yet, so I guess we'll see. According to the website, the weekly edition is January 2022 through December 2022. The cover is 6.5 inches by 8 inches, and the pages are 6.25 inches by 7.75 inches. It's a little different in terms of size when it comes to A5, a little wider and a little shorter. It has 70-pound pure white Mohawk via paper, 1 week per 2-page spread, full month views. There's 31 note pages, 4 pages of simplified prep work, monthly simplicity tips, sticker designs, bookbinding, hardcover, and it comes with the box. Now the box is beautiful. The box is absolutely stunning, and it has this like really fancy kind of like way to open it. But honestly, I would rather the planner be cheaper and it not come with the box personally. It is really pretty though. I think that these keepsake boxes that planners come in, I can see some people wanting them, especially, if they want to use it to like keep their planners when they're done. I've wind up, because I review so many planners with so many of them. So that's probably why. So this is a book-bound planner. Like I said, it says the signature simplified planner, January 22 to December 22 for what matters most in gold foil. It's a hardcover, this beautiful hydrangea printed pattern. I absolutely love it. Has gold grommets on the sides. The side of the planner says the Simplified Planner in foil and then the year 2022. And then the back has the same beautiful cover with the simplified branding. They said it's lay flat. Let's test that right out of the box. Yeah, I mean, you got to kind of push it down for a second. And there is a little bit of like a bounce in this. That's one of the things that comes with bookbinding. But yeah, it does lay fairly flat. So opening it up, we have a sheet of stickers. We have winter, spring, summer, fall, grace, not perfection, yay. And then we have a launch day and a cover reveal for the new planners, that's marketing. And then there's some flags and some like little short flags this is basically the Emily Lay color scheme, like the simplified color scheme. They are sort of glossy feeling, not vinyl, but like that kind of papery glossy. They're a little thick. I would imagine you need a special pen to write on top of these. You probably want to use a permanent pen. And then there is a little pocket. Now the pocket doesn't have a lot of give. I would worry it's going to tear. It's a paper pocket, but it's a perfect size to keep your stickers in. Here is the cover page with the info and your name, and then some information about the simplified planner itself, Emily's books, and then a little note from her. And when you come in here, it is the process of simplifying. So name what matters, eliminate distractions, establish routines, and choose what matters. And then how to use your simplified planner. Do your prep work, add birthdays and anniversaries, add reminders, make time and get messy. And then it gives you some tips on how to care for it and what to do if you get something on the cover. Here is a calendar for the year of 2022. A list of 2022 holidays. A fairly decent list of holidays. I wonder if they're going to be on the monthly. Yep, they're on the monthly calendar. I wish if you're going to give the holidays here, just don't put them on the planner. Like, let people put the holidays they celebrate in, so they don't have to cover them up. Anyway, whatever. It's one of my gripes about a lot of planners. Okay, so here's your prep work. And this is not something, I mean, it's been a long time since I looked at the Simplified Planner, so I'm sure it's probably in there now, but I don't remember if it was in there or not when I looked at it a few years ago. Preparing for a new year, what worked, what didn't work, ideas for new routines and healthy habits, ideas for new routines, and then it gives you every day of the week. Some ideas for morning and evening routines. Here is a simplicity 30-day challenge to achieving a simpler, more joyful life. And it's just a whole bunch of little things you can do over the course of 30 days. A yearly bucket list for the next 12 months. And then you've got a couple pages of notes. Looks like 2 full spreads. And then we get into the actual months. Now, this paper does not feel super flimsy, but it is certainly not hella thick. I reviewed the Harriet Wright planner recently, and that paper was like redonkulous. This paper feels about half that weight. So your monthly looks like the color on it matches the color of the tab. So the tabs are laminated, but because it's book bound, they are inside the book, which I know that that matters to some people. It's a Sunday start. It gives you a simplicity tip the month before this month and the month after. And then it fills the month in with a notes column here and the little pineapple situation there, which is their logo. My birthday in January always gets the shaft on a 5-week calendar. It always winds up getting stuck in like one of these divided days. And then we get to your weekly layout. So it's a horizontal style layout. The way that it's set up is that you have a column of blank lines and a column of to-do lines. So one column has the little circles to check off, one doesn't. And then there's a lot of color here. And looks like the color scheme remains the same. It rotates through the simplified colors with Monday through Sunday. You could cover those up with a date cover, but that's, even though it is minimalistic in terms of how much color there is, it's still more color than I would want in a planner. The weekend shares a space, and Sunday has only half the lines that Saturday gets, and then she gives you the Sunday prep tasks. Now, I both appreciate this. Like, here, I'm going to show you the Sunday prep tasks. I remember this from the Simplified Daily Planner. Plan meals for the week ahead, tidy up for a clean slate on Monday, write tasks, appointments for the week, fill your tank, enjoy what matters most. I appreciate that. At the same time, and you've heard this rant if you've heard me review planners before, but this, I think, really hammers it home. If you don't work a Monday through Friday schedule, Sunday might not be your prep day. It might be a different day of the week. You may want a full, like, I'm not a fan of the weekend sharing a space anyway, because I feel like some people, like sometimes I don't need that much. Like this would be enough space for me for Sunday, but I actually work on Sundays for about half the day. And I do a lot of my prep for the week on Saturdays. The fact that Sunday already gets half as much space as any other day, and then half of that, like it's a quarter of space because half of that's been planned for you. I don't like that. But I can see if this is kind of the rhythm you follow, this being really helpful because it's basically like a reminder every week of shit you need to do. Also, the weekly layout is a Monday start. Just pointing that out. One of the nice things it does with this is that every page has the same amount of tab area cut out, even though it's not laminated. So it's fairly easy to figure out what month you're in just by tactileness. And the whole thing is laminated, not just the little tab itself, like not just the part you can see here, but the whole thing is laminated. So then we get to the end of the planner, and there is a very girthy kind of notes section compared to the rest of the planner. You get a nice, what is it? It tells you 31 note pages, and then you get to the very end, has a little standard of grace, not perfection note here, and then your planner is done. The other thing that I did not mention is that the planner comes with a bookmark to keep your spot. So it does lie flat. I would imagine if you're a lefty, because I would say that this crease area might be difficult for some people when you get into like the section, the center of the planner, or when you're on either side where one side is kind of ballooning up. Although with use, that might go down. So before I get into the entrepreneurship, I want to give you a couple of thoughts on this. And the biggest one being that this is pretty and it fits the Simplified brand. I think $50 is a little overpriced for this size and the amount of stuff that you get here. I feel like the bells, like the box and everything, makes it feel fancier. But if I saw this for $50, like this planner, exact same planner sitting on the shelf in like an Office Depot or a Target, like this planner, nothing changed except no box, and it was $50, I would laugh. So it's not a bad planner and the quality is nice, but I just feel like it's a little overpriced. So let's go to the Simplified Entrepreneurship Workbook. I was interested in seeing this one purely because it seemed, well, interesting. It's very similar in size to the weekly planner. The coil just gives it a little bit more width. So the front says Entrepreneurship and then Simplified on the bottom. And then there's nothing on the back. It's a navy cover. It's cardstock, but it's like a coated cardstock. It's not like that super matte touch cardstock, but it's also not very glossy. It's like a mix between the glossy and the matte touch. It's like somewhere in the center there. It's wire O binding, my personal favorite, for the side. So it doesn't feel flimsy, but it also doesn't feel super durable. I would be careful with this, but it also feels a little portable because it is smaller. So the paper, it doesn't say what the paper is on the website. Honestly, I feel like the paper in the notebook actually feels a little nicer. So I guess I'll pen test both of them. So this has 12 undated month spreads with two to-do pages and 2 notes pages for each month. And then it has a whole bunch of stuff that is geared towards like entrepreneurs. Here is the same kind of stuff at the front of the planner with a little note from Emily. And then we have some stuff. The heart of my business, my why, my ideal client, your business color palette, and it gives you space for your hex color, your RGB, your Pantone, all of the different numbers that could be associated with your brand coloring. And then mission statement and brand voice. And it gives you some prompts if you haven't figured this out yet on how to figure this out. Now, over the years, I have done some pretty excellent branding workshops, and I have seen a lot of this information laid out in a much more thorough manner, but this is a great start for somebody who has not delved that deeply into like entrepreneurship internet world, which can be a very toxic place, by the way. Thinking about doing a podcast on it. All right, vision for the year, word of the year, that's business specific, your big picture annual goals for work, and then breaking those down into smaller action steps and progress. So it gives you room for 4 goals. Then we have the looking back section. What worked last year, what didn't work last year, ideas for alleviating pain points, and ideas for new goals. We've got routines for weekly tasks, especially I'm assuming like admin tasks. And you have them from Monday through Friday. Then you have every repetitive task that you do at the beginning and end of the day. Some key dates for your business from January through December. And some space for big ideas. Then for this, you have recurring tasks that need to get done, and you basically have a whole page to list the tasks, and then you have all of the months of the year. So you have 2 full habit trackers for recurring tasks that are monthly. And then here's your platforms for your monthly content to help you focus in on what you're going to do. So it gives you a place to list your platforms and then write your focus for each month and then your focus for each day of the week. Then we have a special project planner, gives you space for a project, what you need for it, the objective, and then a task planner. You get 3 of these layouts as somebody who runs their own freelance and content production and everything else, work, business, whatever you want to say. So not enough project planning, but I would probably prefer like a whole notebook of if I was going to use this, which I probably wouldn't. I have my own project planning methods, but again, I can see how this could help you build the habits of it if it's not something that you are super used to yet. And then here's a place to list some self-care ideas. Here's a place to list your wins. Here's a password tracker, which I do not understand password trackers and written down planners. It's like you're asking for somebody to steal it. And then key contacts. And then we're into the months. And I think one of the things that is bumming me out the most about this entrepreneurship workbook is that it is very neutral. It is all in like dark gray and white. And I would love if the planner was this way too, instead of all the color, but that's just me. So it's a Sunday start calendar. You get 5 weeks. You put your month in, your notes in, and then you have 2 pages of full-blown to-do lists. So 4 full columns for to-dos. And then you have 2 lined note pages, and then you get into the month again. And so this goes on for 12 months. And that's the end of the planner, 1 extra note page. There's a little bit of a blue polka dot situation here, and that closes it. So this is interesting. First of all, I think that if you are new to running your own business, some of the prompts in the beginning can really help you think about it, but it's a little simplistic. However, if you're new to it, it can be really helpful and not overwhelming. Plus, you won't get like super lost in the weeds of your branding when you should be actually doing the work, which is what's necessary when you're at the beginning of working for yourself to get the ball rolling. So this is $24 and still a little pricey, but it's nice quality, and I really do think that it has a lot of great content in it for an entire year. So I think this price is more reasonable than the weekly planner. I don't think I'm going to use either of these things. I would be happier using this one, partly because even with the wire O binding, it'd be easier to write on. It just has some more useful stuff, like that's a little bit more targeted. I'm going to pen test both of them though at the same time because I feel like the paper is slightly different in them. I could be wrong. But this paper, just from my tactileness, this one has a little bit more of a tooth to it. This one's a little bit smoother. I wonder if any of the other notebooks say what their paper is, because Lakin talked about these on her channel, and I think she mentioned that all the notebooks have the same paper, like the coil notebooks. 80-pound smooth paper. Yes, so the paper in the notebook is thicker than the paper in the planner. Sweet, I wasn't just losing it completely. I'm going to be using the same pens in both, a gel pen, Pentel Energel Clina, a Pitt Artist Pen Fine Liner, a Tombow Dual Brush Marker, a Zig Clean Color Dot Pen, and a Zebra Mild Liner. So three things, I guess. First of all, I want you to note that I press down lightly and then a little harder with the Zig Color Dot marker because that's what I wind up doing, and so I wanted to do both. And then the highlighter, I made sure to do a double pass because that happens a lot with highlighting. The second thing I noticed as these are next to each other is that the paper in the Entrepreneur book is a white with almost a grayish cast, and the paper in the Simplified Planner is a yellowish kind of creamy paper. You can even see it here, I hope, on the camera. So let's compare. So this is the Simplified Planner, and this is the Entrepreneurship Notebook. So with the Simplified Planner, there is definitely a little ridging with the gel pen, not so much with the fine liner, and no bleed through, but all three of the markery pens definitely shadow. You can see that here. With the Entrepreneurship Notebook, there's a little bit of ridging with the gel pen, no ridging with the fine liner, and there is the only shadowing I really see is with the harder press of the dot pen. So I would imagine that the Entrepreneurship paper is slightly better than the weekly planner paper. So overall, I've already kind of talked about my thoughts on these. They're very pretty. The aesthetic is very pretty. If you are somebody who is just starting to work for yourself and you're kind of struggling with figuring out branding and like goal setting and all that, this might be a helpful little workbook for you. As for this planner, I think it's really pretty. I can't really get down with the price for it. It feels overpriced to me. So that's my thought. I will say the daily planners are $60, but they come on a coil. They are bigger. They have the same paper. They come in a coil. They're bigger. They're also for a full year. So if you're going to go for a simplified planner, I'd rather spend the 10 extra bucks and get the bigger daily planner than spend it on the smaller weekly planner, because you can get, unless this size and everything is really appealing to you, you can do better for the price, I think. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know, and let me know if there's any planners you'd like me to take a look at. I will likely be giving these away during Vlogmas because I don't think I'm going to use either of them. So make sure to stay tuned for that. That's coming up in December, so you better subscribe. Thank you for watching. Like I said, subscribe, and until next time, friends, peace.